In the past week or so, the Philadelphia 76ers look like an entirely different team. In part, well, because they are an entirely different team. At least the way they play basketball. Let's break it down. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Before we even get into the video, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member, that link is in the description below, but at least show your boy some free love. Click that subscribe button. Let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm going to call it the Sixers 2.0, the new look Philadelphia 76ers. This team looks completely different ever since Joel Embiid and James Harden got hurt. I tweeted out the other day that when James Harden and Joel Embiid come back, they better find a way to change how they were playing previously. They need to find a way to fit into what's going on right now. And it made a lot of people upset. I had a lot of people reply talking about, oh, superstars they shouldn't change their games for role models. And, oh, James Harden and Joel Embiid have been winning their way. They shouldn't change the way they're playing. And you sound stupid. They should absolutely change the way they've been playing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Sure, they've been winning in the regular season, but they haven't had much playoff success. And this team, without them, looks a hell of a lot better. That doesn't mean the team is better. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Sixers are better without James Harden and Joel Embiid, because that would be stupid. They're not better without James Harden and Joel Embiid. They cannot win a championship without James Harden and Joel Embiid. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, when you have basketball players that don't dribble the air out of the ball and they can put their egos aside and they can just play team basketball, the team is better. When you had no Joel Embiid, when you had no James Harden, you didn't have them relying on someone to bail them out. Everybody knew they had to be a part of the solution. Everybody knew that they had to share the ball, and everybody trusted that if they shared the ball, they would get it back. You guys are watching the games, and if you're not watching the games, you shouldn't say that I'm wrong, but I'm guessing you guys are watching the games, and you can see the ball movement was better. The player movement without the ball was significantly better, and there was such a higher level of trust. Guys believed that they passed the ball and they just ran through the offense. They moved without the ball. They set screens. They trusted they would get the ball back in that possession. It wasn't like, oh, this is my one time touching it. I have to shoot this. I have to make a shot. I have to make an impact. No, the play doesn't care who makes it. So just keep moving the ball, and eventually a play will be made. We have to play that way with James Harden and Joel Embiid. But what tends to happen with those guys, when you have superstars of the highest order that are as good as they are, well, what naturally happens is they get the ball, everybody stands in the corner and watches. And that's why you have our fans saying, well, Tobias Harris just needs to stand in the corner and knock down threes. PJ Tucker just needs to stand there and knock down threes. And it's like, no, that's limiting what they can actually do. Nobody on this team should just stand in the corner and shoot threes. We have guys that are talented enough to be able to impact the game in different ways. I'm a basketball coach. I'm not just a fan, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some D1 basketball coach. I coach high school basketball. Matter of fact, I just got home from basketball practice. That's why I'm still in my coaching gear. I see the game a little bit different than you fans. I didn't say I see it better. I'm not saying one way is better or worse. It's just different. But when I'm watching this team play and I'm seeing the things that Tobias Harris can do, I understand that by just sticking him in a corner and telling him to shoot, you're actually hurting Tobias Harris. He needs to have the ball in his hands at times. To talk about Tobias Harris for a minute, you guys have wanted to trade him, get rid of him, release him. There was such a lack of appreciation for Tobias Harris. And what does the man do? Every single time he's called on, he performs. And those are the things that I've seen. That's why I've been saying we should not trade Tobias Harris, because he's able to impact the game in different ways. We've seen him step up and have to be the number 1 and the number 2 option. And then when those guys come back, we will see him sacrifice and be the number 4 option and not complain one bit. That's not a guy you get rid of. Now everybody's saying we should bench PJ Tucker, when PJ Tucker has been one of the better players that we've had. Sure, he's not scoring the ball, but he's impacting the game in different ways. Not everything is about scoring. You can't just have 5 guys on the floor that are all going to get 20 or 30 points a game. It doesn't work that way. You have to have guys that are willing to do the other things. So without James Harden, without Joel Embiid, we've seen everybody expand their roles a little bit. We've seen the ball fly around the court. We've seen guys moving without the ball. We've seen a level of trust that we have to see when those guys come back. To be fair to Joel Embiid, he came back last night and he has 7 assists. So clearly Joel Embiid saw that he needed to change his game a little bit because he's not a guy that just gets 7 assists all the time. You hear my dog barking in the background because she agrees. We need these guys to play a different style of basketball. James Harden, you got to be able to dribble a little bit less. Joel Embiid, you got to pass out of those double teams a little more often. And the guys who have been doing what they're doing, of course, the minutes will shrink, but they have to feel a part of it. You can see we have a roster that when everybody feels part of it, everybody plays at a high level. And don't forget to give Doc Rivers some credit, because you can't just blame the man for when he loses. You got to give the man credit when he wins, and the praise should be just as loud as the criticism. He's not only coaching the losses, people, he's coaching the wins too. But hey, that's just what I feel about this team, man. I'm all fired up. I'm sweating. I just got back from practice. I'm hungry, but I love what I'm seeing from this Philadelphia 76ers team. And James Harden and Joel Embiid, when they get back, well, Joel Embiid is back, but when James Harden is back, they all need to fall in line. They need to sacrifice a little bit so that those guys can do a little more. Everybody eats. And when everybody eats and everybody feels a part of it, you see what this team is capable of. There's no way that Doc Rivers only wants to play this way when those guys are out. I'm sure he wants to play that way with those guys. It's just a little hard to get your superstars to buy in. Hopefully they finally do. I want to hear from you guys, so sound off in the comment section below. I'm sorry my dog is barking in the back. I just got home from practice and I haven't walked it yet. I had to get this video out. Sound off in the comment section below, man. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both are at Sixers Breakroom. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Hopefully with the Sixers still playing some damn good basketball. Peace.